Yes, hello. Welcome everybody to the No Labels, No Walls. I'm going to be sharing the Facebook to everybody on the Facebook things. But we have a great host today, Layla.
Oh, yes.
I said it right. It's going to be just introducing Raphael. If that's okay, if Layla needs any help, can you just help her? But Layla, all you're going to do is ask who everybody is, and just
I can't see your head.
okay. I said who everybody is, and then just something about themselves. That's all.
Okay.
You can just ask like each one like in the order if you want to.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I can start, and then you can go on the. So hi, my name is Mary. I'm right now in Los Angeles, but I'm originally from Finland, and I'm with Strimberg Laboratory, and we are expecting or waiting for Christmas here in 25 Celsius heat. So hope you all well.
Hello.
Who do you want to ask next? Who's next to me?
So Layla, who's next on your screen? The easiest way to do this is to just go along the layers on the screen, because sometimes there's not too many of us today, but sometimes it can get a bit confusing.
Okay.
But if you can read out somebody's name on the screen, or if you don't want to do this, that's okay. It doesn't matter.
Kevin?
Kevin?
Okay. Hi, I'm Kevin. I am in Connecticut, USA. I am with Musical Intervention in New Haven, and happy winter solstice, everyone. It's the shortest day of the year. And apparently Jupiter and Saturn are supposed to be like conjuncting today, first since 1226.
Okay. Hello, Mark.
Thank you for that, Kevin. Who's next, Layla?
I'm looking down. Underneath me is Mark. Am I wrong?
Hello, my name's Mark. I'm streaming from Glasgow. I'm back again.
Okay.
I like it here. Thank you.
Okay. Is that Rufus? No, is it Rufus?
Who's next, Layla?
Oh, oh dear. Is it Alistair? I'm really confused, sorry.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine, Layla. You're doing a grand job. Yeah, so I'm Alistair from Aberdeen in Scotland. We're joining you in a balmy 7-degree heat, and it's the day before my youngest daughter's 16th birthday.
Oh wow. Is it Meryl? Hello.
Hi, I can go next.
Okay.
Hi, this is Nisley. I am joining in from Los Angeles. It is a beautiful sunny day, and Michael has had me stuck to the Zoom since 7 o'clock this morning.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm not a happy camper, but just kidding. It's good to be here. I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
Okay. And you? Hello.
Who's next?
The person next to you. Is it your
Yes,
husband?
it's difficult. Hi, hi, hi everyone. It's difficult to pronounce my name. I'm aware of that. I'm from Poland.
Can we call you Kata for short?
Kata. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, of course. It will be easier. So I'm from Kaszubia, Kaszubia region in Poland. So we have a very foggy day. I come back from my work, and it was very stressful and not easy way in the foggy roads. So, but happy to be here, and can't wait to our conversation.
Okay.
Is that everybody, Layla?
Except her husband met. I can't say it.
We've got Tim as well.
He's underneath you, Alistair.
Tim?
Meryl?
Hi, I'm Tim Vogt, and I'm from Kentucky in the United States. And one thing about me is every year for the last 8 years, my family and I get a cabin in the woods in Kentucky, and we spend a week the day after Christmas to New Year's.
Oh, wow.
And we are really looking forward to that. And this year the cabin has a really big hot tub. So our 4-year-old little boy is pretty pumped about that, almost as pumped as he is about Santa Claus. So.
Oh, thank you. Good. So I think, Lady, you were trying to say Michael's name, who's
yes,
Mary
yes.
Hi, I'm Michael with Strimberg Laboratory, and I think that's everybody. And that's everybody. So just want to say thank you, Layla. Oh, is that everybody? Did we miss anybody?
I guess I'm missing myself.
Oh, Raphael.
And Rona.
And Rona. I'm sorry. I'm Michael with Strimberg and from Los Angeles. Layla, we missed one more person, Raphael.
So I'm Rafael. I'm from Brazil, but I'm living in Finland now. I'm a social service student. I'm really glad to be here. I'm really glad that Rona could do it. Disability is a very sensitive theme for me. I'm studying this as well. And also I have my mother, she's a disabled person. So it's really close to my heart, this theme. So thank you. I'm really happy to be here. Now our special host, Rona.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank Raphael and Michael for inviting me today to talk a little bit about what life is like as a disabled person, particularly the country that I'm in, which is the UK. Now, I used to live in Scotland. I used to live in a place called Govan in Glasgow. And over the time that I was there, I became very aware that Scotland is a very, very different country. Different in the sense that there was a sense of strong heritage and identity within Scotland. Not everyone in Scotland wanted to be part of the big United Kingdom. Some people in Scotland wanted to be an independent country, and some people in Scotland wanted to stay part of the UK. But I noticed that there was a big difference between the way I was treated in Scotland as a disabled person and the way I'm treated in England as a disabled person. And what I would like everyone to think about today, oh, there's someone that needs admitting from the waiting room. Okay, so what I'd like everyone to think about today is how we relate to disabled people, particularly disabled people. And I think the main difference between the way I was treated in Scotland and the way I'm treated here is that in Scotland, if I walked with a walking stick, or if I came in with a Zimmer frame, or even if I was in a wheelchair, I would still be treated like me. So I would still be spoken to as a fellow human being and treated with respect and dignity and all the things that you would imagine. In fact, you know, if I said something wrong or offensive, then I would be pulled up on it. You know, it was just normality. And that's one of the things I really loved about living in Glasgow, particularly Govan and Glasgow. Well, not particularly Govan, but Glasgow in general. I've never been to Aberdeen. I'd like to visit. But the thing is that there wasn't that huge sense of, oh, you're disabled, so you get different treatment. It wasn't that sense of, oh, you're inconveniencing us because you need the ramp instead of you need a ramp? Oh my goodness me. Oh, let me see if I can find the ramp. You know, there wasn't any of that. If there was a ramp available, and if there wasn't a ramp available, I'd get profuse apologies. I'm so sorry, here's the ramp. But generally speaking, there was a ramp available. I mean, it wasn't the most easiest place to get around. Glasgow is not the easiest place to get around because I'm lucky that I can climb stairs. Not too many stairs, but I can climb stairs. But there are people who can't climb stairs, so they can't use every station on the subway. You know, structural inaccessibilities notwithstanding, there was a sense of feeling a bit more equal. I came back to England, and we are kind of being there was a time when disabled people weren't considered to be, I think, you know, even if you go back about 100, 150 years, there was a time when disabled people weren't even considered to be people. They were kind of just kind of animals to be kept in an institution until they passed away. And over the years, we've got a little bit more evolved, and then we started to realize that disabled people are just people, but you know, with impairments that could be, you know, those impairments could be met with reasonable adjustments that we could make as a society, as a human race, but also within our structure within our society. So we got to a point where things were okay, and then our shall we say, rather right-wing Conservative government came into power in 2010 and decided to push the clock back. So disabled people not only got less money, sometimes they would get something called a sanction, which means they get no money, which means that they had no money to live on. And they either, you know, if they didn't have somebody to borrow off of, they would starve and die. And that has been happening very much so over the last 10 years. And we've lost a lot of people have died as a result of government policy. A lot of disabled people have died as a result of government policy. Yes, Layla, do you have a question?
Yes, my supporter, he's just joined. I just want him just to introduce himself just to all of you. I know him. I was telling him.
Okay.
I was telling him about this.
Okay, well, welcome. I'm just in the middle of doing an introductory talk. Yeah, so government policy has not only cost a lot of disabled people's lives, but also taken away a lot of our rights. So there is a big difference between the way I am treated I feel like I have to prove myself more as a disabled person in England than I did in Scotland. In Scotland, I was just another human being. In England, I'm a disabled human being. So there's a lot more that I have to prove in order to get this respect and the validity as a fellow human being with the same rights and values that I would do if I were living in Scotland or in Finland or you know, possibly even in America. What we're going to do now is, first of all, I'm just going to stop talking and ask if there are any questions so far. And also, we're going to go to breakout rooms. So we've got maybe 4 or 5 people in each breakout room. And each breakout room is going to get a specific topic to talk about. Breakout room number 1, and I'm going to leave this to my tech person to sort out. Breakout room number 1 is going to have the question, how do we change the narrative around how we relate to disabled people? And maybe if you could all come up with one thing that you would change, both, you know, in terms of how you relate to people as an individual, and one thing you change within society in terms of how you would like society to, you know, what you would like society to change about how they treat disabled people. So that's going to be in breakout room number 1. And breakout room number 2 will be, what can you do to contradict the narrative, particularly in England, that disabled people are less than worthy of equality? What would you do to contradict that? Oh, welcome. Hello. So I'll just say that again for somebody just joining us. Marcus, oh, hello. So question 1 in breakout room, question 1 is, how do we change that narrative both within your community and yourself in terms of how you relate to disabled people? And question 2 is, what would you do to contradict the UK government narrative, or particularly in England and Wales, and you know, I don't know about Northern Ireland, I imagine it's similar in Northern Ireland, but Scotland is just that little bit further along, but particularly, you know, it is a UK policy, but Scotland have their own government, their own policies. But what would you do to contradict that narrative that disabled people are less than worthy? What would you do to go against that trend, both within your, again, within your community and also you yourself as an individual? So do we have, I mean, there's some notices in the chat I noticed. Do we have any questions before we go any further?
Organized conflicts.
Rona, I was trying to write here. The first question is, how do we change the narrative in the community and we ourselves, right? Because I'm going to write for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
We contradict the UK government policy that disabled people are not as worthy and less worthy of equal rights. How do we contradict that, again, on a personal level and on a community level? But the first question is, how do we change that narrative? So they're very similar questions, but one is about government policy and one is about changing the narrative within our own personal interaction. Is that clear? Clearish? Clear as mud? Yeah.
So we have two questions.
Guys, I want you to, if you can, each individually answer the question in your breakout room. And we're going to have 15 minutes. Layla, yes?
Yeah. Could I go with Meryl to his breakout room?
Well, I'm not doing breakout rooms. Someone else is going to organize the breakout room. So I'm sure that's okay.
Who's organizing?
I will do, Layla. Who do you want to be with?
Meryl? I don't know his name. Is
it Michael you want to be with?
Michael.
Michael, Meryl?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Michael. Yeah. Okay.
It's okay. We are going to have 2 rooms only, Rona. Or do you want 2 or 4 rooms? Because we have only 2 questions, right?
2 questions, 2 rooms. Yeah. And they're 15 minutes,
okay.
So it's coming up to, it's almost 20 past. So if we have 15 minutes, we come back at about 25 to 6 to have a bit of a discussion.
Meryl Parkin, that's it.
Okay, I will assign now people to. Okay, we are going to start now. Just one.
That's it, Meryl.
Okay, starting now. Thank you. In 15 minutes, we are back.
Oh. Shit.
Okay, you need to.
Hello, we're back. Everybody's back.
Hello.
And welcome, Anthony Shaw. We can't see you. But...
Hi there. I can't find my video. Hold on.
It's okay. Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Not too bad.
Can you share my note, Mel? I don't know what to say.
Didn't catch that. Sorry.
Sorry, Layla.
Oh my God! Hello, Matt. You made me jump. Hello.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so Michael is going to feedback from our breakout group.
Yeah, we had a great session, and yeah. So please, if I missed anything, please just chime in. So the first thing we got is connect people. A label has a way. Disabled as a label has a way of disidentifying people instead of identifying people for who they really are. And that instead of using disabled, maybe, well, I was confused, maybe use a different term. Working as a team was one of the big themes that helped with breaking down stigma that Layla was talking about. And then privilege is a big word that's been used in the news. So maybe privilege needs to be discussed when we were talking about accessibility. And that was from Tim, from the group. Tim, anything I missed on that? Nope. Okay.
You can read what I said.
I am. I'm going to read. Yes. And then Layla had a great thought. I don't like to be used as a label, and our community is not that good. Community is not that good. We need to change the way I have change the way that she wrote. I have a learning disability, and that has changed my life because I do find life hard because nobody wants to work with me at all because they don't have time to work with me. And that was something about patience that was brought up a lot. And then Neasley talked about education as a way to change the narrative. Children ministry that she works in her church connects people with the children connects people with those children with autism. And this promotes understanding from child to child. Personally, Neasley was saying that she needs to work on having more patience and to listen. And this is something that she does on a daily basis. Hopefully, Neasley, I hope I got all of it. And then Alistair talked about, okay, good. Alistair talked about dreaming big. So he encourages people to just go for it. And he does it in his work with people. And also as a professional, not to take over, but just to assist. And then disability rights is not as visible as other social right movements. They were talking about that. And social model with accessibility is a good learning tool for everyone to read and to use. And that was what Rona was talking about a model that came out from the UK. And that was, I think, everything. Did I miss anything, Rona, or anybody?
So I'm going to trust you.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we move on to group 2. Who's feeding back from group 2?
I don't know. We didn't decide. Is there somebody from our group who wants to do? I mean, naturally, I can. Okay, I'll try to, and maybe you can kind of step in if I miss something. Or so we talked a lot about. Well, Matt was talking about UK, how especially when you grow up and you go to schools, some schools are totally exclusive of any students with disabilities. So young people growing up don't have really any interaction with people with any disabilities. So we talked about how important it would be to have like real integration in the school. So that would really be what would change the society, to have everybody to interacting as human beings as growing up already. And then we talked about how to then change what would be the ways to change legislation and really change so that, you know, things wouldn't go backwards. So we talked about a lot of things, but one thing was to make it really visible, like no labels, no walls is one way to make this need for integration and everybody interacting, because like I personally believe that, you know, you can't just put like you can give a lot of people with disabilities, but if you just put them into one group and let them do themselves, that doesn't really change anything. So make it visible through like no labels, no walls, and then have like, I don't know how to, that people actually who are making legislation, that there would be disabled people. And we talked about one person in Finland during 80s who was disabled. He was from a Green Party. And I guess then there were legislation that was passed. And then also Markus, he knows somebody, musician, who was I don't remember the name of the band. I haven't been in Finland that year with the European song contest, but they went there and there was this disabled person, and that became really visible in especially in Finland, recognized. So that kind of pushed things forward. So what did I miss? I'm sure I missed something. Can you somebody?
I think you got the meat and bones of it. You did.
Okay. All right.
Yes, great. Thank you.
Can I ask Alistair, could you share with the group your avatar, your disabled avatar? I think the whole group should see it.
Okay. This was just that a wee while ago, obviously Facebook started putting up these avatars that you can put up to represent yourself, these little cartoon avatars. Now you can have all kinds of different ways to personalize them. You can have pink hair, you can have glasses, you can have 23 different types of eyebrows, but you can't have a wheelchair, right? There's no disabled avatars, none. So what I had to do here was, I mean, this is a bit of a clearer one. This one's not a video, but what I had to do was just basically Photoshop her avatar face onto another image, a cartoon image, to create one for her, because they just didn't exist. And I thought, if you did that with another form of discrimination, you know, if you just completely ignored a large section of the community, that there would probably be quite a bit of outrage. But in this case, there wasn't really a massive, despite the fact that there were online petitions. So that's something that we're pushing on, and we've also got a media discussion tomorrow. We had an online session with the BBC and STV just last week, asking about how disabled people were being portrayed in the media and what opportunities people had to have their say. And it was led by Michael McEwen, who's a journalist who's got cerebral palsy, and Danielle Farrell, who's another disabled person. And it was, so we're having our discussion tomorrow to think about what we do next to get those standards. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful, and we'll certainly keep you informed.
If you could share the link with Raphael, and if Raphael could pass it on to me, that would be brilliant. I'd love to see the results of that, if that's okay.
Yes, well, tomorrow's just a planning meeting, but yeah, we're going to do something in the new year to follow up. So if anybody here would like to be involved in that, that'd be brilliant.
Very much so. Yes, please. Okay, well, I just want to leave you with one final thought, because we talked about this in my group. The difference between a person with a disability and a disabled person. A person with a disability is a person who is defined by their impairment. So a person with a hearing loss, a person with a sensory impairment, a person with a mobility impairment, a person with a neurological impairment. So they are defined by their disability, their inability to conform to what society sees as normal. A disabled person is a person that happens to have an impairment that is disabled by society's inability to correct that by way of becoming more accessible or by way of meeting that person's needs. So society disables that person. So we are all disabled people. We are not people with a disability because we're not defined by, I'm not defined by very well. I'm defined by the fact that I'm a woman. I've got red hair. I'm a little bit overweight. I live in the UK. I'm a singer. I'm an actor. I'm a social justice campaigner. That's how I define myself. I don't choose to define myself as someone with a disability. I'm a disabled person because not every place has got a hearing loop. Not every place has got accessibility for someone with a walking frame. Not every place is going to be patient enough for me to try to remember the things that I have to remember if I'm in a pressurized situation. So I just want to leave you all with that thought and then hand back to Michael and Raphael.
Thank you so much, Rona, for this amazing discussion today. And just want to say thank you so much. It was really, really informative. And then also, Layla, thank you so much for being such a great host today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One of the things, we have about 6-7 minutes. I just want to kind of what's next, because it's great that we learned all of these things, but now how are we going to take it into action? And that's what the whole thing about No Labels, No Walls is. So I think, Rona, if you can, maybe think about an action. Oh, yes, Mark, you had something?
Is it on next week?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're going to talk about it right now. Absolutely. So what we have coming up is we have a TV channel through YouTube that's launching. And Raphael, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I have one idea here. I have create a Padlet. So if we want, I can post here and we can post there some actions about how to change the narrative. What do you think?
Fantastic. So let's
I will post.
Okay. So we can do the Padlet where we can think about some ideas, like Raphael was saying, about some actions that we can all take together for the future festival coming up next year on accessibility and some of the themes that Rona was leading. We also have a YouTube channel that's coming out. We can have a regular show about accessibility. If you wanted to do it, or whoever in this group wants to talk about it. It can be once a month show. It could be, whatever anybody wants. If you are interested in that, please put your email in the chat. Our next meeting is going to be January the 4th for the TV channel. So if you're interested in having your own show for that channel, please, and I'll add you to the invite. And that's going to, the next meeting for that's January 4th. And then, Raphael's great, sharing his, and then any ideas coming up, we can add right now, I guess, to the Padlet for future actions. Rona, do you have any that you want to do for future actions on this theme of accessibility for the festival or coming up?
Yeah, I was just putting my email in the chat to get involved with that TV thing that you mentioned.
Fantastic.
So yeah, that's something I'd like to do straight away. But in terms of the festival, I think, I don't know, I'd have to have a think about it. I'd like to do some sort of myth-busting workshop in terms of a presentation of the work of disabled people both myself and other disabled people who would like to take part in presentation of their work, whether it's artwork, painting, drama, sculpture, singing. I would do singing. If other disabled people wanted to come, it's like an arts festival. You know, people with CP who are painters. You know, I just like that's the kind of initial thought that I had in terms of
fantastic. That's all great. So, so Raphael, maybe we can send on the email the link to the Padlet for people. I'm going to send an email out to everybody who's put their email in the chat. So Mark, Alistar, about what we worked on this morning, and then also what for the 4th, have Timo from Kukanari add you to the email list. So you'll get an invite for the 4th meeting about the channel. And then Raphael, maybe for the next email, we can put the Padlet link on the email chain, the mass email, so people then can have that. So we'll link that. Now coming up, okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, yes, absolutely, I will add it. Coming up next week, we have a really special Action Monday. We hope you all can join us. It's all about planting trees or planting a plant. And this idea comes from environmental justice governance, which was Sunil. He's going to be leading a workshop on basically healing the earth. So me and Mehdi have bought a plant. We're going to plant it and do a commercial for it for this week. So if everybody can get a plant, you know, it could be a seed, could be anything. And then we can kind of share us kind of collectively, a collective action of planting something for the holiday and for the earth that we all share. That would be great. And that's coming up for next week. So and then after that is going to be, I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, Castellan.
Kata. We shorten it into Kata.
Kata, yes. Kata. And Kata is going to be leading us in a workshop for the 4th of January. So we're really looking forward, and the Facebook event for that hopefully will be done this week.
And then I'm just going 1 week forward. 11th is the art action, and and I was going to ask Kevin if you want to be planning it with Margareta, so it's not one person planning. So I could connect you, because she already said she would be, so because you were working on the ideas in the same group when we had the last art action. Would you be willing to do that if I email you?
All right, well, just send me the email and we'll connect.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I'll be there.
And so we've got a lot of great things coming up. So we just, oh, perfect. Oh, great. Fantastic, Anthony. Great. So any closing thoughts though? Rona, Mark, Alistar, Kata, Kevin, any closing thoughts about the upcoming actions, the Padlet, what No Labels, No Walls is, the TV channel, anything at all? Yes, Rona.
What is a Padlet?
Raphael, you want to?
Yes, I have posted here the link. I'm gonna share my screen. So this is the Padlet. So you can go there and you can create a post, and we can see the post of each one there. So,
okay, right.
The first idea was that you could describe some possible.
Is it shareable? Could I share it on Facebook with my fellow Facebookers?
Yes, I'm gonna copy the link here in the chat, so you can share, and I'm gonna also put in the mass email that we have, so we can be feeling this, and maybe one day in the future we can see together again. But anyone can post here, and we can make a collection of. But I'm gonna post again the link. It's in the chat now.
I've copied the link. I just didn't know what it was. So.
Oh yeah, so that's the Padlet thing.
Any other questions or comments about what's upcoming? Any questions about the channel? Any questions about anything before we wrap it up? No?
Yeah,
well, Yes,
The
sir.
channel, is the channel just in Finland or is it international?
No, this idea, we're creating it right now. So the idea is that it's a channel for everybody. So everybody has a chance to create their own TV show for the channel, and it will have it's a channel created for and by everybody. So it's a way for people to connect throughout the world, and it's something that can be more regular than just having a once a month action. We already have planned, just so you guys have an idea. We have a puppet show, we have a music show, a late night show, a comedy show. I'm missing probably so many of. Neesley was talking about things that she's already working on with well-being for her ministry that she's doing. So there's all sorts of things. The idea is that we're having all this content, all these different people interacting, a new audience, and a way for people to be heard, and also to connect people from around the world, hopefully to build a better future. And that's
Meryl?
Fabulous.
Yes,
Meryl,
Alexia.
have you been watching the news at all in the U? Have you seen what's happening in the UK?
No.
No, that's a great idea to have.
That would be a great idea.
From certain perspective, the news.
That would be great, Layla.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the miles of lorries?
Of Florence?
Lorries, trucks.
Lorries. Oh, lorries. Yes, because
Lorries.
there's no goods coming from other countries.
Oh, because of the
COVID.
Brexit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And France have shut their port. So France have shut.
Right.
Well, you should have your own. I'm going to put you on the email, Layla. You should have your own show.
The person living in the UK, the news is very right wing. It's very biased in favor of the government, and you need to bear that in mind, Layla. That the news is only going to show the government's point of view. It's not going to show the people's point of view. So that's kind of so important to have a padlet. So important to have a No Labels, No Walls channel, so that we can get the other point of view across, as well as now. I host a live stream TV show. Well, not a TV show, it's social media. It's on social media. I use the wrong word. Sorry. When I get excited about something, I use the wrong words because of my stroke. But I have a live stream regular music show. But if I were to do something with yourselves, it would be more about social justice and more about talking to people about their situations and what they're doing to change society. So that's kind of where I'm
next week.
Yeah. I'm going to send everybody an email about it. And Katja, did you have something you want to say?
Yes, I wanted to say that it's important. What I will be talked about is my experience that in my problem I would have this disability, how to say that, written in my papers, how it's often being, and in my case, a social support protect me from it. So the next thing, I think, I don't know if you understand that in some cases we get, like, people with disorders get this disability in papers, written in papers, but the social support is so important to protect them from it. So I think I would like to speak about it. So I am pleased that I am in this group. So thank you for today.
Oh, no, thanks for being a part of this. Well, everybody have a great holiday. Whatever.
Something.
Yes, Easley.
I think what Layla was trying to share is the news that broke out yesterday about the strain of coronavirus that they have been found. And so all the borders are shutting down, like France and Morocco, and all of them have already shut their borders, and there's no one entering and leaving because this variant strain has the capacity to be much more transferable 70%. So that's what she was trying to share about the.
Thank you, Neve. Well, that being said, it's our time, so it's 10:01. I just want to wish everybody be safe. Have a great holiday. Oh, and Layla, last thing, who's going to be the next week's host? Layla, before we wrap it up, you have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, Layla.
If no one wants, if everyone is busy doing things, I don't mind.
You want to do it again? Layla's again. All right. Number 2. Hey, not bad. All right. Well, that being said, everybody, have a great holiday. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week. See ya.
See you guys.
Bye-bye,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Marcus. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Matt, where have you gone?
Okay.
Oh, God, no.